The rain fell in torrents that night, drumming against the rusted tin roofs of a Degbero village like the beats of an angry bata drum. The sound of the downpour filled the air, but it couldn't drown the raised voices in our house. It was the loudest quarrel I'd ever heard between my father, Mr. Samson Adewale, and my older brother, Deji. Deji, I said, get out of my sight before I do something I'll regret, my father bellowed, his voice trembling with rage. Do something then. Do your worst, Baba, Deji shouted back, his fists clenched so tight his knuckles turned white. His eyes burned with fury, but underneath that, I could see something else. Hurt. Betrayal. I stood frozen by the doorway, my heart pounding against my chest. My mother, Foleke Adewale, tried to intervene, standing between the two men she loved most. Samson, please, you're both angry. Let's calm down and talk this through, she pleaded. But my father was beyond reasoning. His face was red, veins popping in his neck as he pointed an accusing finger at Deji. You thief! You think I don't know what you did? You think you can take what's mine and get away with it? Deji took a step forward. What did I take? Tell me. Because all I've ever done is try to help this family, and you treat me like dirt. It wasn't until that moment that I realized my hands were shaking. I was holding a small knife, one I'd picked up from the kitchen earlier when I thought I'd heard intruders. Now it felt like a weight in my palm, heavy with the decision I didn't even know I'd have to make. As my father lunged toward Deji, my mother screamed, and I panicked. Stop it, I yelled, stepping into the room with the knife raised. Stop, or I swear I'll do something none of us can take back. The room fell silent. All three of them stared at me, my father in shock, Deji in disbelief, and my mother in utter horror. The rain outside seemed to pause, the air thick with tension. Seyun, my mother said softly, her voice trembling. What are you doing with that knife? Put it down, my child. I couldn't. Not yet. Everyone stop shouting, I said, my voice cracking. Just stop. I'm tired of this family fighting all the time. Every day it's something new. I'm sick of it. Tears streamed down my face and the knife felt slippery in my grip. My father, always the strong, unshakable one, took a cautious step toward me. Seyun, I didn't mean to scare you. Put the knife down, son. Let's talk. His tone was calm now, almost pleading, but I wasn't sure if I could trust it. Wasn't he the same man who had slapped Deji just last week for coming home late? Wasn't he the same man who had humiliated me in front of my friends when I failed my exams? And then there was Deji, the golden child who could do no wrong, until tonight. What had he done to make Baba so angry? What could be so bad that it brought us to this point? Tell me what's going on, I said, my voice firmer now. What did Deji do? And Baba, why do you always treat us like we're the problem? Maybe you're the problem. The words hung in the air like a curse. My father's eyes darkened, and for a moment I thought he might explode again. But instead he turned to Deji. Tell him, he said through gritted teeth. Tell your brother what you've done. Deji looked away, shame flickering across his face. I didn't steal it, he mumbled. Steal what? I demanded. My money, Baba roared, pointing at Deji. The savings I've been keeping for your school fees. He took it all and gave it to that useless girlfriend of his. My head spun. Deji, my brother who always seemed so responsible, had stolen from Baba. And for what? A girl. It wasn't like that, Deji said, his voice rising again. Baba, you don't understand. She needed help. Her mother is sick and they couldn't afford medicine. What was I supposed to do? Let her die? You were supposed to come to me, Baba snapped. But no, you think you're a man now, making decisions on your own? Well, let me tell you something. You're no man. You're just a boy who doesn't understand the value of hard work. My grip on the knife loosened and it clattered to the floor. I felt like I was sinking into quicksand, unable to process what I was hearing. My mother rushed forward and hugged me tightly, her sobs muffled against my shoulder. Deji turned to me, his eyes pleading. Seyun, you believe me, don't you? I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I was just trying to do the right thing. But I couldn't answer. I didn't know what to believe anymore. The rain outside picked up again, a relentless storm mirroring the chaos in our home. And as I stood there, trapped between my father's anger and my brother's desperation, I realized something chilling. This was only the beginning. If you want me to continue part 2, click on the subscribe button now and I will continue.